Hey everybody, welcome back. Movie review time, where we geek out about a movie we just saw, and we just saw Jumanji. Welcome to the third one. Okay, Jumanji, the next level. So this is going to be our spoiler review. We're going to talk all kinds of spoilers here. There's going to be spoiler-laden and spoiler-lady. We might even we might even spoil the end. The spoiler is I can't talk all of a sudden.
Is that concussion acting up?
I know, right? Damn, I better not knock on wood too hard. So we are going to talk spoilers. You got a second here while we do our little spiel, so you can click out if you don't want spoilers and come on back when you're ready for spoilers once you've seen the movie and whatnot. But this will be spoiler-filled. We do have a no-spoiler review. There's a link in the description below and such if you want to check that out, which I recommend checking out even if you are looking for spoilers because it gives more of an overall review of the movie. That said, you can also get more movie reviews, like my thoughts on seeing the original Jumanji for the first time on my Patreon by looking up TheEricButts using links in the description below. You can get 30-second movie reviews and reactions on the Stardust app. Also, TheEricButts are linked in the description below. We don't consider ourselves movie critics or reviewers. We just are people that like to talk about movies and like to geek out about movies. And we do the spoiler videos so we can more specifically talk about things that we liked and or didn't like. So I think, is that pretty much the spiel?
Yeah, I think
Did I miss anything? Oh, I missed one thing. And do not forget, Mary is beautiful.
Okay.
And I love her. So you've had enough time to throw out the babies with the bathwater. Spoilers.
So who knew that this was a backdoor into another Zathra movie?
Right, especially when Danny DeVito started backdooring The Rock. And then the horse got involved, and it got weird. Because it wasn't weird before then.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of that happened.
Okay, so you you watched Jumanji, the
I just recently watched the original one for the first time.
Okay, so
very much loved
since it's been forever since I've done it, what did they port over into this one?
All right, well, the things I did happen to notice since it was so fresh was at the end on the on the Hound's Tower. Like the gargoyles were the game board pieces from the original, so I thought that was pretty cool.
All right.
But the big thing, and this is at the very, very end, so major spoiler. But Nora's Cafe.
Yeah.
I am 99.9% sure that Nora was the mother or the adopted mom or whatever in the original movie to Kirsten Dunst and the little boy.
Huh.
Almost positive that was. I was actually meant to IMDb it to confirm before I said that, but I'm like 99% positive.
Do you want to IMDb that?
All right, sure.
While we talk?
And we can talk about how amazing it was that Danny DeVito learned the smolder from the game, and it worked on Nora.
It was kind of disturbing.
That was pretty cool.
Well, didn't in the last movie, didn't the kid, I can't think of his name now. Steven?
In the last movie, like the main kid, the nerdy kid?
Yeah. The guy that they were looking for the entire freaking time.
Sauce.
It was an S name.
Yeah, no, you're right. I know, I'm looking for now. I can't find the damn cast. There it is. Jesus. Spencer.
Spencer. Okay.
Jesus.
I think, didn't Spencer pull the same thing on Megan at the end of the first movie?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that might have happened at the end of the last movie. Yeah. Sorry, I got confused. Oh, I see why. Okay, I was like, why did they name the girl Young Bethany? Did we see an old Bethany? But no, it's because they also call Jack Black Bethany.
No, Young Bethany is what's-his-face's daughter that he named after Bethany.
Oh, right. My name is Bethley too. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. See, this is why I shouldn't IMDb and read at the same time. Now, what about Young Spencer? I mean, come on, what's that about? And that was definitely the Hound.
I don't remember there being any flashbacks.
Yeah, there wasn't. They're just calling the main kids Young, whatever, because the avatars get the name without Young. I'm wondering if she's not going to be, like, if they don't have her on here.
Like a uncredited Easter egg?
Yeah. Or maybe it's like too soon. I'm getting kind of deep into the stuff, and I haven't seen that character.
Nora, so...
Right, I know. I just haven't seen that character unless I just totally moved over it. God, we're into Loop Group.
Oh.
But this is like all over the place.
Oh, Jesus. Okay,
talk about something while I keep looking.
So that flying horse.
That was pretty funny.
I think as soon as was it seaplane? I mean, I think that's the avatar's name. Smacked the horse and saw the thing. Well, that's useful.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be flying. But I was expecting a Pegasus, so I was like, oh, we're going with bat wings. Well, that makes sense. They're both mammals. But at the same time, I'm sitting here going like, oh, but you do not have the right design to get any sort of lift out of that. You're a glider at best. And Eric's going like, shut up, it's Jumanji.
Yeah, hashtag because Jumanji. I said maybe he's a Tidorian and he has a helium belly. But yes, in the original Jumanji,
Let me see
what's
that
her
picture.
name?
Oh, yep, that's her.
Bebe Neuwirth played Nora Spencer, or what was it? Spencer? Was that the last name? I just had it a minute
Spencer
ago.
was the name of the kid.
Let me go back to it.
Shepherd.
Noah Shepherd. So that was definitely her at the end. Then.
Okay,
All right,
so
cool.
that was a cute tie-in.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty neat too. So cool. So now I wonder if they do a third one, which they totally set up.
Was she there for the havoc that was wreaked during the gameplay of the Jumanji in the first movie?
She had gone out of town when most of it happened, and near the end of the movie, she comes back into town, and it's all going on.
Okay.
And she goes up to the door with David Alan Grier in the water and rides a door down the street. Spoilers for Jumanji, I guess.
Okay, so
Sorry.
actually,
Sorry about that.
makes the end credit interesting potential.
With the horde coming outside of Nora's, the flock. And I want to get into that, but I was going to get into it later. But since
Okay.
we're here, I think this is great setup for a third one, which I would totally watch. I like the idea that maybe for a fourth one, I guess, but a third in this new series, if they go back to the original concept, and the third one is the game coming out into our world again.
Yeah.
And it would be an awesome opportunity to have the kids actually go on an adventure as the kids, but have the avatars come out and play like the avatar versions of themselves.
Yeah.
Like maybe you get a really douchey, arrogant Rock as Bravestone or something, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my god, now the map guy is the coolest guy ever, or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, that's what they're supposed to be like? I think you could really play with that idea, and I think that would be a great culmination for this like trilogy of new Jumanji movies.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's what they're setting up, and if this does well, I hope that's what they do.
But I like the idea of Nora going like, it's happening again.
Yeah, not again. And then maybe like Kirsten Dunst, they get her back in the third one or something, so they can keep tying into the original. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
She could be like the mayor of the town. I don't know. But let's see. Let's actually talk about this movie, though. Oh, yeah, the Hound, Sir Gregor Clegane, as the villain. I already forgot the villain's name. But when I first saw him, he was like something the Barbarian or something.
Yeah.
But when I first saw him, I was like, it took me a minute. I was going through all the names. Like, could that be, is that?
Actually, it looked like, I asked you.
I know.
Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah,
guy.
Negan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Thank you.
I
I saw a little bit of that.
see a little bit in there. But it wasn't
With
until
all that facial hair, it's hard to tell.
and I was pretty sure it was the Hound, and because he didn't have the big scarring and all that.
Big scar.
But it was when he opened his mouth, and I was like, oh, yep, I can hear him saying the filthy cunts or something like that. That's definitely, I just know that voice. That was the Hound, and it became more clear as we went through the movie. So that was a pleasant surprise, because I don't recall any of the marketing material telling us that.
And probably
he was good.
The bigger surprise.
I know, that's what I was segueing you into.
Aquafina.
Yeah, does anybody else remember that? Like, I have a vague recollection from doing trailer text work of seeing her name in some of the analytics I was doing, but it didn't stick with me, and I don't remember ever seeing her in trailers.
I don't remember seeing her in any of the trailers. So it's like Spencer shows up as Aquafina. We're like, what?
And I gotta tell you, she did a great job, because then she had to also be Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
And so you got to see her do two different ones.
She did a very good Danny DeVito.
She was great. And I tell you, she almost made me cry when she was saying goodbye to not Frank, or whoever, as the horse, Milo. As the horse. Like, I mean, I got a little misty-eyed at that, and I'm like, damn, Aquafina, when'd you get those acting chops, girl?
No, she's got like a major dramatic movie right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen enough of her. Like, I only know her from over-the-top, out there, boisterous character comedy work,
I can't think of what the name of it is, but she's got one
The Farewell? Is it one of those Golden Globe nominated ones, I think?
It might be. It's where like she goes back to China because her grandmother's dying and nobody's told her grandmother that she's dying.
That sounds like that could be. I don't know what The Farewell is, but I'm not.
I think that might be what it's called. That sounds like it might be right.
Okay.
So she's having to deal with, whether or not she's going to...
Okay, fair enough. But
it's very dramatic, is my whole point.
Okay. But yeah, I thought she was really good. And I think they gave her some real fun stuff to do. And I liked her as Spencer, but I liked her a hell of a lot more when she was doing the Danny DeVito character. And then the other thing we can talk about is how I like to pay bills. So we'll be right back.
And we're back.
We are? What? What did you manage? No, all right. So I love the running gags that they were doing in the beginning that they kept having to explain. You're in a video game. You're this, you're that, you're the other. There were some great new touches with the stats on the people. That was pretty fun. Although there was one that we saw it, but they didn't reference it. And I wanted to, was it?
I know we didn't get the Rock's boomerang thing again. So I'm pretty sure he did not use that this time around.
And this was a weakness. It was, I think it was on Kevin Hart's character. One of his new weaknesses was strength. They didn't verbally reference it. You had to read it, but he had like 3 weaknesses. It was still cake, it was something else, and then it was strength. And I'm like, wait, his weakness is strength is his weakness?
I think, no, it's like the map guy doesn't have any stamina. So his character's supposed to be super weak.
Okay, I guess I can go with that, but they didn't say that in the last one, and I thought that was pretty cute.
Are you sure?
I don't recall. I think it was only cake, but it's been a while since I've seen next.
I think it was
so
there.
I could be totally wrong there.
I think his thing was that he had gained linguistics, which in this case apparently meant being Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, that was actually pretty great though, like the conversation with the camels.
Yeah.
And he's like, that one's named this, and that one's named this, and that one. And I even liked at one point when like the Rock's like, you talking to my camel? He's like, he's not your camel, his name is Dave, and he, or whatever the name was.
I think Kevin Hart fell into that and seemed like such a natural way. You have to wonder if he just kind of would walk off set and just keep talking that way.
You're right, and that's something we hadn't talked about enough in here is Kevin Hart was, Kevin Hart, I love Kevin Hart. I love his performances, but for the most part, he's always kind of the same performance in everything he does. But he was really doing something different in this one when he was doing the whole Danny, not DeVito, the other one. Glover, thank you. The whole Danny Glover thing, and it was so natural. I didn't even think to bring up how good he was playing that version of that character. So that was pretty great. And then pulling out all the stuff out of the bag, and that was all fun too. Once it became fridge again.
And then the whole scene that he had when he was still human. So when he was in Kevin Hart's body, and Dan DeVito was still in the Rock's body, and he's going like, "Oh, you're sick."
Yeah, that was pretty touching too.
Yeah,
that was really good. So there's actually some good heart and emotion going on. That good heart and emotion.
I was halfway surprised Dan DeVito's character didn't decide to stay too.
I was wondering if they would do that, but it makes sense he didn't, because he still has a family, he still has a life, he has something to go to, and and literally Danny Glover had nothing, because they made it a point that you knew his wife had left, didn't really have kids or whatever, so it's like all he had to look forward to was dying. So it's like, hey, I'm 75 years old and I just learned how to fly, I'm going to stay here. It's like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was nice seeing Colin Hanks back. That was kind of a pleasant surprise. And of course, it's not Harry Styles. Who is it?
One of the Jonas Brothers.
Jonas. It was, Nick Jonas, And he's good. He's got acting chops, so I was glad to see him get a comeback too and do some fun things.
Wasn't he in one of the war movies? Am I thinking a different pop singer?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, he's starting to be in a bunch of stuff.
Dunkirk.
He might have been in Dunkirk. I don't know. Everybody in Dunkirk, all those white boys looked alike. It's true. What was that? Speaking of white boys, there was a great line in the movie too about, I have got to stop hanging out with white people. I think it was the line, one of the Fridge's lines. That was pretty great. Karen Gillan. Mm-hmm. I just need to see her be more badass movies. Like, we need one of those, Russian trained assassin movies with her kind of deals. Not really. We have enough of those movies, but I'm just saying, like she doesn't get enough credit for how much ass kicking she can do too. And she's great with the comedy. She really blends those.
They haven't killed off Nebula yet, have they?
No. But yeah, and it was really fun to see her and Jack Black get a turn to kind of change around too, and actually see her get to play the Fridge. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of fun. What else we got in there?
The big scene where they're trying to switch everybody into more appropriate bodies.
Yeah, that was a nice twist that they could actually do some body jumping.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here going like, I was waiting for it to take 2 or 3 tries before they got the combination they wanted. Yeah,
we were kind of wondering if maybe there's like a sequence left on the cutting room floor of them all just getting to play the different characters that they keep body swapping. Mm-hmm. But it was so fucking awesome when they jump in the lake and they all get their emotions coming out of the water, all badass slow motion. But even the horse comes out and does like the hair commercial hair flip. I was like, And then I'm just like wondering, because it did not look CG. It's like, have they actually trained a horse to do that? Or is that one of those things they just got lucky and it just worked? You know? Or did they just notice that horses naturally do that or something? But
well, theoretically, if they hadn't switched bodies yet, that was Bethany in there. She's like...
Which is why it makes it even funnier. So that was a really great little touch too. Little things like that. The ostrich chase was fantastic. Like, that was legitimately exciting. The deaths in this one are kind of like shocking and visceral. Like, you don't, like, they're kind of like, what? You kind of literally go, whoa. Like, you kind of don't see some of them coming. I like how they kind of explode and stuff.
I'm sitting here going, like, the rate that they were losing lives, I'm like, guys,
are you gonna make it to the
rate?
Right? Exactly. Yeah, that was really cool.
I like that point that that's like, you keep killing people. You talk so slow, you keep killing people. That
was fun. That was really neat. Yeah, and the bridge sequence was real fun too. I like every time they were in the desert, go ahead, the bridge sequence.
Oh no, I was gonna say, yeah, that one was really well put together, I thought.
Mm-hmm. It did not feel like the Indiana Jones Crystal Skull monkey swinging scene, so that's good. I love, and I could be wrong about this, but I'm almost positive this is what they were doing. There was a couple of times I picked it up in the desert, whenever they go to a sweeping establishing shot, the music cue kind of almost was the music cue for Lawrence of Arabia, and then like 3 or 4 notes in kind of shifted into its own thing, but they were definitely kind of referencing the desert dunes.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, well,
I have no idea what that music
I've not seen the movie, but I'm familiar with that like famous cue from it. I can't hum it all of a sudden because now I'm on the spot trying to think about it, but I'm pretty sure you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I feel like that's what they were doing, unless it was Indiana Jones music, but I think it was supposed to be that. It was nice they got Welcome to the Jungle playing back in there. Nice little touch there.
Yeah.
I like the way the map worked, that like if you unlocked a new section of the game, more of the map unlocked.
Yeah.
But that was kind of cool.
I think they did that in the last one too.
I was thinking they probably did, I just didn't remember it.
The dance fight.
Wasn't as dancey as it should have been, but...
Was it the same song as last time?
That I do not remember. Because I really don't remember the last one
that was just a weird choice of dance fight music. Because you dance fight, you're thinking of something with a beat, and that song has no beat. Ooh, baby, I love your way.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of weird. You'd think it'd be like everybody was kung fu fighting. Maybe that's what they used in the last movie or something.
No, I think it was something like 80s-ish.
Okay, yeah. Maybe it was Welcome to the Jungle.
Well, I think it's because the game was created in the 80s.
Theoretically, I think the game is evolving now.
Well, it had evolved into the cartridge game, because...
Ooh, there you go. So the next evolution of the Jumanji game is to make it a mobile game. And you have to pay for loot boxes to save your life.
Take my money!
So it becomes like a whole allegory on like, rich people get to survive because they can afford to buy more jewel packs or what the hell ever.
Yeah. It turns into PvP?
Yeah, or I don't know. I was kind of going more like it almost becomes like a version of The Purge, but with video. I don't know. Anyways,
PvP.
There's something to be done. There's something to be done in that. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, player. Yeah, okay, I'm with you. I was thinking more like fighting one-on-one, but I thought they were going to do that when Danny DeVito as The Rock and Danny Glover as Kevin Hart were finally going to square up and settle this. We're going to settle this right now because the shot was like the classic 2-on, the one guy here, one guy here facing. I was half waiting for like, life bars to come up and like fight or like KO.
That would have been funny.
Yeah. I mean, I get why they didn't, but that would have been kind of neat touch.
It's like, why did the game do that? God only knows what the game's doing at this point.
Right. I like Danny DeVito's arc about how he's like, getting old sucks. Don't let everybody tell you different. It does suck. But then he does kind of come around to it. Actually, it's kind of wonderful. It's a privilege. It's a gift. I was like, yeah. I mean, I'd rather stay young and awesome forever and not worry about falling down and giving myself a concussion. And being around to see Star Wars 18,041 eventually. I don't know that I'd want to be around that long, honestly.
No, that's a bit long.
I always thought, like, I wish we could all just decide. It's like, I'd probably want to stick around for about 500 years. Give myself about 500 years. And then I'm like, okay, I'm probably good now. But I'm like...
That kind of depends on a few things.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm talking like, we have robot health, and it's not like you're 500 years of dying.
Well, no, I'm thinking more like 500 years of... Is anybody else lasting 500 years, or is it just me?
Well, I assume if I can do it, everybody else can do it. And then we're forced to rethink how we exist.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jumanji brings out the existential questions in all of us, contemplating the meanings of the universe.
I have to say, the joke about the guys not getting that they're in a video game did I felt the exasperation.
But I think just the right amount of that. I think they did it just enough for the audience to feel it too, and then they moved on. They didn't quite overplay it at that point.
I remember later in the movie, it's like, please don't ask.
And I like The Rock and Switchblade. And I like him just your grandpa just beat up 45 strangers.
There was a TPK. I don't think there was a TPK in the first movie.
No, I don't remember one, no. So total party kill, for those of you who don't know. Yeah, they all get rocket launched to death. Although the camels are unscathed, so that was nice. But video game laws, so sure. No BD-1 droid, so thumbs down. All right, I don't know. I don't think I have anything else. I mean, it's a good time.
Yeah.
We thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll totally watch it again. I really would like to see a third one with those ideas we threw out, or some version of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. I need some more of that smoldering intensity.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that there were new gameplay characters, so it'll be interesting to see who they add in the future.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it? All right, comment below. Let us know. What do y'all think? This is the spoiler video, so feel free to talk spoilers down there. Did you see it? What was your favorite part? What would you like to see in another one? If you'd like to see another one, let us hear it. Geek out with us in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say. You can also check out the Stardust app and or my Patreon app by looking up TheEricButts or using links in the description below. And click that thumbs up button. Give us that good old thumb of encouragement, as we do love to be encouraged. But now we're going to get out of here so we can go watch some more stuff, and we'll talk to y'all later.